point something out to you. This is one of Ed Dutton's videos. Ed Dutton, good lad, because he's been away and he's asked lots of questions and he's listened to people. And now he's suddenly got this head full that makes it so he can think on the spot, make connections and make discoveries in real time. He's learned how to think. He's learned about the link between thinking and speaking, and he's going for it, Ed. I don't know Ed. He's a friend of old friends of mine. Sam likes him, and he's wisely made friends with Grannon, hasn't he? Grannon being a sort of super narc who's self-aware and can teach you a hell of a lot about his own nature. That's what he's like. So it's like he's imbibed all this info. Say he spoke to Sam, spoke to Grannon, done his own research, and them two guys are insightful, you know, because that's the creatures they are. They're only having to talk about themselves. They're only having to talk about their own nature. They only have to be honest about themselves in order to give you all the insights that you need. I'm sort of half like that, and half extremely observant, as to where I'm someone who's always spent their entire lives in conflict with such people. So I know my four, and they're the four. So it's like knowing one's four gives one quite a bit of room to maneuver, whether one can't move an inch. So Ed, he's looking at this, and this video is gold. This is gold, this. The reactions on this woman's, the reactions that this young woman, where it's like she gives that look as if, I'm talking here, feminist. This is a feminist. You can see with the attitude. She thinks she's got a magical force field that means she can run her mouth, having never once in her life had someone give her a clip round the ear hole or say, shut the fuck up, and mean it. So when it happens to her, check the reaction. And then I'm going to push this video forwards to 16 minutes and get to where Ed Dutton proves himself that he's actually got an eye for this. He makes an absolutely perfect observation about the type of person he's dealing with. As to when he said it, I was like this. So now I'm showing it you.
I just think it's really, really important for people to understand that there are no safe and legal routes for refugees to come to this country. This is the only way they can come here. It's on a boat to pay. Yeah, they've got the whole of Europe. Why should we put that burden on the rest of Europe?
But do you not think
we still have to take responsibility for the fact that we have a lot of stakes in the conflicts and the climate crisis that causes people to be refugees and have to come to another country. They're not choosing to leave their country at their home, their children, their parents.
Our fucking children, you silly cunts. Of our children who just fucking raped, you silly cunt. Fuck off.
Hello. You pick up on that, you get it, the look, and then the exasperation that... Right, it's like cognitive dissonance. Got it. Right, done. It's like you're done. It's like it took that little to put her into a state of shock. That's how this is the thing, you know, with this leftism versus everybody else. It's like they can't handle anything at all. Anything. They've never had someone come up with a face like that and say that. They certainly wouldn't have someone like me who'd be half that and the other half unbreakable logic. They can't handle it. They've been spending their entire lives trying to avoid it. And the day they meet it isn't usually at a protest. Ed Clever Dutton here. He picks up loads of things about this person just from this clip, and this is really good work because he works out she's not English, and then he went away and looked up who the person was because she's a professional, she's a politician, professional activist. She's a Green Party councillor down in London. So she's an expert. She's a politician. She went down there to sort out the oikes. And she got called an FC, didn't she? And exasperated, as if, say, never in her life has she been spat at, slapped, kicked, punched, shoved, called a cunt. Never. You wonder why they bloody they don't like us oikes, do they? It's like a lot of folk can get away with saying all kinds of stuff, but when we oikes get to mouthing off, they like to stick us in court, don't they? We get done for it. We're the ones who get done for it. People cry at the top about being cancelled because they lost a gig, and it's like us at the bottom get the full-on sack for going against the political correct code with the uptown Rochdale version of that crazy feminist when she decides to take offence when you point to the fact that she is wrong. You made me feel stupid, therefore you need to be punished. You made me feel stupid, therefore I'm complaining about you. Been there, done it. If there's a scout badge, if there's a scout badge you can earn for winning but losing, because they just get you in trouble with the bosses, and by the time they've told the story, it's a terrible, terrible tale of woe and sexism and racism and all those isms. By the time they've finished twisting what you've said, you don't realise that. I realise it. So to me, it's just all about the crack, because you can't win. So it's the crack. It's like, how much damage can I do? Because you can't win. You're up against a Kafka trap. You're up against someone trapped in a Kafka trap. Anything you say will be taken and twisted and used as proof of your guilt. You must be guilty of misogynism because I'm a woman and you're offending me and you're disagreeing with me and I'm just saying the things I've been taught are true. So therefore you must be wrong. Now let's get to Ed. Right, this is a brilliant video, you should watch it. Ed is on the ball. He worked out that she's not English. Actually worked out she wasn't English based on her body language. She's Dutch. She's a rich Dutch girl who's a British metropolitan politician. How's that come about? Multicultural London. Let's get to 16. You see the guy, right? Look, and I'll show you something different, right? Where you got that picture of her being all exasperated, right? I'll show you a reaction shot here of Ed Dutton when he's just realised something.
On some level, that she was almost excited by being confronted in that way. It was like she was a...
He just discovered working class, posh girl, pick-up artistry. This is a technique I don't teach, but I educate about it, where it's a matter of techniques I've seen in the past be extremely effective on women from out of town looking for a bit of rough stuff. This is exactly how you go about giving them some rough stuff. He's got it. It's like, I had friends who used to be prolific swordsmen. 2 or 3 of them. And they're old guys now. They'd be 65 now. But when they spotted the girl who was a cut above, who thought she was better than everyone else, who thought her shit didn't stink, who gave off that they'd go over and say something absolutely fucking disgusting that they'd like to do to her. And she'd go, how dare you talk like that? And freak out, and they'd be laughing. Oh, what's up, love? You know, I'm just being friendly. You talk to me like that. This be 1:30 in the morning in a fucking nightclub. 20 minutes later, they'd be coming looking for you. You'd be taking them home in a taxi, and half an hour later, they'd be sucking your dick. I saw it work 1,000 times. You trigger, you use shock in that regard in a psychosexual manner, right? You can create a massive trigger event where they go full circle from I hate you to wouldn't mind some of that.
Roused. It was like she'd always
Let's start it again.
excited by being confronted in that way. It was like she was aroused. It was like she'd always wanted Daddy to set her boundaries and tell her what to do and so on. And it had never ever happened. And suddenly, so she's just been this naughty girl all her life. And
see, that's the thing. You got it right. There is a woman in there. There's actually a woman in there, right? And she doesn't know that there's a woman in there, but we all do. So we're able to call upon the woman, and the woman appears.
Britannia Hotel in Canary Wharf yesterday.
Hang on, I'm looking for the reaction again. I knew it was towards the end. I knew it's when she's front on.
hello, and welcome.
Sorry. I should use the keys, shouldn't I, to just skip a few seconds?
Their children, their parents.
Our fucking children, you silly cunts. Of our children.
Excuse me.
Of this fucking racist, you silly cunt. Fuck off.
Right, excuse me, that was a giveaway that she wasn't English. It's a polite but nothing thing to say, isn't it? But check.
Oh,
Hello.
Exasperation. It's like you've clocked her. She noticed you. And it's like, and she's psycho, but she probably doesn't realise it. So you've just tapped into something that she didn't know that was going on, and you've just brought it to life, and suddenly she feels this heat. Not heat down there in the stomach. A lot of it to do with stomach, and it's serotonin. And then you get it as to where someone as crackpotted as that. We don't know her background. She could be well crackpotted, but she could be a borderline. If she's borderline, it means that her fight-flight responses are out of whack. So to her, that could have been the end of the world. Someone actually just saying that. It feel like a bomb's dropped because you don't have appropriate responses based on fear. Fight or flight. Your fight or flight responses are off. So you likely see that as a fucking cataclysm that didn't kill you. Well, yeah, it's like, let's finish what Ed was saying about because I had an idea of making this quite smoothly done, but I thought, oh, just remember the times, but hitting the fucking target, not as easy as I thought.
On some level, that she was almost excited by being confronted in that way. It was like she was aroused. It was like she'd always wanted Daddy to set her boundaries and tell her what to do and so on. And it had never ever happened. And suddenly, so she's just been this naughty girl.
Yeah, it's like you put her in a place and suddenly she's just a woman. She's not a fucking superhero that knows everything. She's just a little stupid woman who's afraid. If she weren't stupid, she wouldn't be so afraid of climate change and all that shit. She wouldn't be. The way you overcome a fear is to learn every last fucking thing about it. It just doesn't occur because the looking into the darkness is they avoid it. They avoid it. They avoid it. They avoid the things that they need to look at, and it's a matter of it stares and stares and stares. So the one day someone from the outside's like, "You fucking cunt, what about our kids?" She's like, "Oh my God, one of the oikeds just spoke to me. And he rattled me to my core." There'll be repercussions of that. 20 minutes later, she's been crying her fucking eyes out. I'm telling you, shock. The easiest people in the world to shock and confound. You just saw one of them. And how did the guy go about doing it? Just cut right through her bullshit, and in that moment, made her realise that she was a woman and not some kind of gifted, enlightened person to come along to educate these oikes with the things that she's heard on television, or the things she was taught at university that other people who were taught at university have been saying on television. It's like you're behind the times, love. It's like that woke has become so fucking cringe and easy to spot now that it just, oh, you're playing that game, are you? That's the thing, you know. For years I've been doing my bit against trying to help people come up with better strategies for coping with that kind of shit. You know, emotional blackmail, narcissism. And it's a matter of my angle has really been, don't even try to defend it. It's like immediately call this game what it is. Oh, you're going to play that game, are you? Oh, well, my personal thing is to go out front of it and say, that doesn't work on me. And mean it as and put that in the thing to say, is to say, you're not going to get the result you want, kid. It's like, that does not work on me. And take it in a way as to where you thought you could make me feel guilty for somehow being a man and white and having been born in a place where it's a good place to be poor. You think you're going to pull that out and it's going to actually fucking work? It's like, do you have an imagination that can be captured with mere words? Do you have sentiments that are so close to the surface that they can just be invoked as if by magic? Think of the poor children. Do you fall for that? Because that is the means by which you are fucking enslaved by fucking psychopaths who can picture the shoebox full of puppies that's been thrown in the river and is floating down the river. Yap. They can fucking make money out of that.
All her life. And suddenly she's been confronted by masculinity, like real masculinity, by someone that is not going to do, but could do violence. And she quite likes it, which is consistent with studies that indicate that feminist identification is associated with sadomasochism.
Yep, that's what
I wonder if she was excited and thus shocked by her own excitement, shocked by the fact that she, strong woman, actually quite liked the dominance that was expressed to her.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct, Ed. That's exactly what just happened. Inside every feminist, there is a woman, right? And it's a matter of, you know, that thing as to where there's a thing goes hand in hand between feminism and promiscuity, and then there's another thing between promiscuity and borderline personality disorder and projection. Well, yeah, that part of them that they fail to control, being the fucking rabid libido and thinking of sex as some kind of human right. That's, let's put it right, if you know certain things about such kind of people, you know that pussy is available to all. Anyone who knows how to knock on that door and unlock that door can get in there, no problem. And there'd be many an approach. In fact, any kind of approach might be appropriate depending on the day. It's like behind that strong woman facade is a bit of a slag, someone who's prudish but has got a very dirty mind. He's right, he bangs it right in.
But I mean, I think
they complicate, you know, these oversimplified creatures, right? That mouth off this stuff that's just the same. They're really complicated people. That make no mistake, that is not a simplified creature. That's a very complex one that lives inside an order created in its own mind that's got loads of pitfalls in it. Articles of faith that don't tie up, so you've got fear off into the future, like climate change. And it'd be in essence, you're in a death cult. It's kind of you're like a Viking. You're a pagan. You're waiting for the end. You're a Jehovah's Witness. You've decided that these are the end days. Anyone out there who believes that the world's ending like that, you should always remember this. In 1878 in Rochdale, the world's highest ranking Freemason actually built the prophesized Temple of Solomon in Jerusalem, where that's what they were sort of calling Britain at that stage, when they decided it was God's own country and we had a divine right to rule the world. It's actually built in Rochdale. It's like within how many years? 40 years that place going up. Less, 30 years, 35 years. We're in World War One. The worst thing that ever happened. So who's to say that, you know, the world didn't end a very, very long time ago? There's things written into the old covenant that says you don't have to worry about climate change. What? Yeah, no more floods. The covenant with the God, you know, they like the things, you know, the Jew understandings of things, the Jewish understandings of things. Because we don't bother that. We just call them thieves endlessly. Thieves, lies. You don't understand their understanding of the world. Their knowledge of that there's a pact between God and man that there'll not be a flood as long as you kind of obey these rules. And we don't see any signs of the end of days here. It's like if you back the human race to always survive, you'll always win. So it's like, how do you make lots of money? Oh, we're going to buy lots of weapons. We're going to invest it in the military-industrial complex. Why? Because we bank on human beings always coming back from the brink. We build up trillion-dollar weapon systems to fight wars and not fight wars. We understand that that's the way of it. You know, part of your religion being understanding that if we push the button, all bets are off. Therefore, I don't think anyone's going to be pushing the button, do you? There's no one in the world, regardless of what's happened, would have a compelling reason to do so other than hatred, revenge. And if we fall to that, you know, we're not creatures fit to even have that stuff, are we? Most ridiculous fucking thing in the world. Biggest waste of money, biggest money spinner. Because those who understand the nature of the Lord, which is to understand the nature of all men, would know that he ain't fucking pushing the button. There are those who would. Absolutely there are those who would. But we have ways and means in this world of keeping them a long way from the levers of power, which appear to have temporarily failed in the last few years, but they've not been able to. The robustness of humans in society has meant that those who've attempted to sabotage our cultures and sabotage our civilizations and our systems have failed. They're too robust because people keep turning up for fucking work, don't they? Out of that clock that's ticking of being alive, needing to feed yourself, needing coffee and milk and sugar so you can have a brew, and needing toilet paper for wiping your ass. Keeps rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling, and so everything else has to too. And everything does. It's like these people who don't know their fucking barn, but would call themselves in their ways winners because of the station at which they were sired. I'm a distant, discarded relative of one of the richest families in the fucking world. How do you think I feel about being born fucking poor? Just saying.
There could be something about the general rebellion. I mean, you often see this from people who are, supposedly, rebelling against their conservative parents by going the most left wing that they possibly can, because they want to tell, daddy to go away, and they're...
It's funny when you see these reflections, right? If somebody hates someone bad, right? I'll give you a tip, right? If someone hates you bad, so you've got like Kiwi Farms guys fucking stalking you, trying to find shit out about you to damage your reputation. If you wear these non-reflective glasses, right, you got to watch out, because whatever's on your screen, right, will reflect. And if you move your head, if you've got multiple screens, right, if you've got porn on your other monitor, it'll reflect in your glasses. Just saying. If you've got porn on, it will reflect in your glasses. But I've seen people doing it. They've been zeroing in, getting screenshots. You've got it with video these days. You can get really, really high resolution. You get a really high resolution. You take a screenshot, you zoom in the photo, and see what the guy's got on his monitor. You see mine? It's no, yeah, you will see mine. Too wrong angle. Not enough light.
Standing up and putting their arms and finally stamping their feet down. But I do think a lot of people as well, do actually, even if they express, sort of a desire to be a, lefty lib, sometimes they do want to.
Give you a tip. This guy's got nothing to add, has he really? Give you a tip for you guys. This fella, see, the non-reflective glasses thing, distraction, right? If you don't, I need these glasses to make videos because sometimes I might have to read something, and although I'm just fucked without them, so I have to wear them. But if you're just doing a talking job like this, you shouldn't wear them. They're a distraction.
To live in a society with authority where they are told what to do. Some people are extremely more independent, free-minded, and that will just, anger them if they're being put on a leash. But some people do have the instincts to be led. Some people are leaders, and some people follow. And I think if you've acted.
Nah, this guy just splits. He's got no insight on this subject. There's nothing to say. It's the look on face here. He's a bit disappointed as to where he just basically cast a pearl before swine. So I've picked out the absolute pearl and just left it for you on the surface. This is a pearl before swine. It's a good conversation, this, about the psychology of it, the sort of psychosexual thing we're into, the propensity to shock, those with the propensity to shock being the easiest people in the world to shock. And then shock be like shaking a lucky 8-ball, and sometimes the ball comes back. You need a fuck. Sometimes the ball come back. Run for your life. Sometimes the ball come back. Call the cops. The lucky 8-ball of shock be invoked, and that's not something that this fella's got any I'm not knocking him, but it's not something he could talk about. If he brought that, if he brought that to Grannon, if Grannon was his guest, because he uses Grannon would be song and fucking verse about how right he is, and he'd come along and make lots and lots of examples and he's very scouse and very, yeah. He knows that game too. He's well trained. It's like, why is Grannon so well trained? It's like, well, I did steer his training. I did push him in the direction of the thing he now makes his money on. So it's like, Grannon's the guy for this. It really is. The best guest that, looking at this video, he could have would be Grannon. He probably knows it now. He probably knows it in this minute where he just cast that pearl before this pig. As to that Grannon could have gone any place with that observation and that connection. Grannon could be pouring petrol and scorn all over this person. Petrol and scorn all over the lot of them. It's like, yeah, but this is the guy who was there, who shot it. Didn't altogether realise what it captured. So it's a matter of, yeah, he gets hold of it. Next people to get a look at this really should be Grannon. So Grannon thinks this. Say we've nothing more here. He's got nothing to add. He was just there, and he's basically just starts to split. Because there's observations here to be made, right, about this one, right, as to right, nice glasses, that's nice her, isn't it? It won't be seen as special, but she's trying to be feminine, and she's trying not to get attention. She looks like, does anybody watch Yellowjackets? Let me find your picture. Which basically, she looks like one of the characters in Yellowjackets, the one played by Richie, the crazy one, Misty. She looks like Misty out of Yellowjackets, who's a murderer, right? Who looks a little bit like her. Has got the same look and gets away with a great deal because of her look, right? Right. There's something funny about this, right? Where you get it where, okay, knowing something as we now do of narcs, right? Nutters. Let's watch this again. This one, right, in some dark recess of her mind, gets basically fucked like a pig, doesn't she? It's like she is filth. But it's filth. And it'll be like, there'll be those who basically tap into that and be like, oh my God, we should have the ability to basically really fucking rock you when you come to realise that, crazy in the street talking nonsense and getting exasperated is like, relates to crazy in the bed. I'm saying, it's like, it's like she would knock the fuck out of you, and it's funny to think of it.
I just think it's really, really important for people to understand that there are no safe and legal routes for refugees to come to this country. This is the only way they can come here. It's on a boat to pay. Yeah, they've got the whole of Europe. Why should we put that burden on the rest of Europe?
But do you not think
we still have to take responsibility for the fact that we have a lot.
See that little glare she gives? You don't interrupt me when I'm speaking. Where the shields are working. The shields are up and they're working, and she's got a rhythm going. Her nonsense she's talking, she's banging it out. The way that she's practiced, the way that she's seen it done, the way that she's done it so many times before, she's going to hypnotise and convince these people that they're wrong. And that guy looks at her and she gives you that sideways look as to say, you shut the fuck up.
A lot of stakes in the conflicts and the climate crisis that causes people to be refugees and have to come to another country. They're not choosing to leave their country at their home.
The hands are immense, aren't they, as well? She puts on an entire performance. It's like we've missed a lot. The hands, it's a shame the hands are not more in the the hands. It's in essence, it's like a hypno trick. The hands, yeah, works that way. It draws attention, and a human attention. It just depends on hypnotism's just about the host. So it's like she can be hypnotized and accessed that way because she thinks that's a standard method of communication. You get told, you get preached to, you get programmed. So that's what she's doing, programming. Child's play.
Their children, their parents.
Oh, and the puppies in a box floating down the river. Yap, 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 please save us.
Of our fucking children, you silly cunts! Of our children!
Excuse me.
Of this fucking race, you silly cunt! Fuck off!
There you go. Right. And where I put it, where it's like, John, you're being nasty saying that she gets fucking shag rotten all over London. You're just being mean. I'm saying no. Real life will hit you like that all the time. And depending on how you deal with that, that depends on how things turn out for you in real life. How you deal with that. As to where in that, in, out, all the brain chemistry went wallop. That's what you're seeing here. You're seeing a rapid change in the neurochemistry there. As to where it's like, what comes next? We don't know. She went into shock. Does she go on high alert? To find out what happened next after this would be astonishing. Because basically, he just, this is an activity that I call ruining someone's fucking day. To cause this kind of effect on somebody. Now, there has been times in the past where I've known about this, been quite adept at playing this game to get this kind of reaction, and just when people ring up asking for money and stuff. I'm going to make it so when my name comes up on your database and says you ring me asking for money, next time you're going to give it a pass, because this time I'm going to hurt your feelings so badly that you're not going to ring back. And I tell them I'm going to do it. Well, looking at their system here, Mr. Collins, and it says your rent is like so much in arrears. Well, I'm dealing with it. You're going to have to wait. Well, you know. Right, love, I've told you. It worked out. It's the easiest thing in the world to make yourself too difficult to deal with on their pay grade. And they just don't bother you anymore. That's the secret of never getting sanctioned off you can't do it anymore. Never getting sanctioned off the dole. That was the trick of that as well, by being too much work for them. But eventually they just sidetrack that and just start making spurious accusations against you that stick because they don't need evidence. Someone's suspicion be enough to punish. So they had to downscale the rules, because previously, now if you go in and say, is it because I'm gay? Right, they'll drop it immediately and then be nice to you, encouraging you not to sue and giving you a leaflet. Back then, it was a matter of, I used to be I'm extremely difficult to deal with, and by the time I finish mouthing off to your bosses, no one's going to ever bother ringing me again. Which is the Jippo method. Be deliberately difficult and awkward. The gypsy method of being left the fuck alone is to be like this. Where'd you learn games like that, John? The Awkward Club. What? Yes. That class of gaslighting. There was a group of us in our late teens and early 20s who mastered it as a defensive sort of martial art against people trying to wind us up and take the piss and call us names and say mean things about our clothes and criticise our football team. We had this. Not buying. What? Yeah, oh no, you're being awkward, aren't you? Yep. It was called the Awkward Club, and you would ask people. There was a secret, the secret sort of handshake code language, right? In the pub where it was based, the Awkward Club, was to find out if someone was. The password was, "Are you in the Awkward Club?" And the correct response was no. It wasn't no, it was no. Like that, like proper no, like no. So you know that you were dealing with someone who was one of your brethren. It's like, what were we doing? It's like, we were winding the people up in the pub who'd been winding us up by being unfucking breakable. And all of us giving it just anything we were asked to do, anything was like, no, you could put me down for a no, or put me down for a no. To be able to summon that no on command is a skill, right? And all of us had to kind of practice being really good at saying no. We had to, and it was part of it. You didn't get in unless you got that right. We'd be sat in the pub, go on, give us another few no's. You've got to get it, and you'd be like, no, it's not awkward enough. They've got to know there's some menace behind it. There's got to know there's a repercussion. It's got to be a fuck you too. So you've got to get it right. No, you got it. And then once you learn that, it'd be a matter of right. Take that with you every day the rest of your fucking life. Learn about being awkward. Learn about being awkward, Luke. It's in essence, we discovered a real key of the spirit of negotiation. Found ourselves meta weapons that were confounding to those who might want to just get a rise out of us, so they could in this. But the thing is, it's like the guys who we find ourselves in conflict with, they weren't having fun. They weren't having fun. They were trying to pick on people. And then when they found someone they could pick on, they generally all picked on them. Basically, the whole thing be an invention of a fun sort of secret society to stop our mate, who was a bit of a cripple, right? But he was our mate from being picked on. He's a bit of a cripple. Got something wrong with his arm. Nerve problems. He got complicated, lifelong disabilities. But he's also, at the same time, he likes to laugh, and he's very silly, and he's very surreal, and he's also a bit of a drunk. But he's our drunk. He's our mate. He don't fuck us over. He don't mess us about. So it's like, how do we protect our friend? How do we come about doing it? And it be a fine mind, a friend of mine who's he basically was a very talented lad. It's like this lad he worked in a dye house on a machine, and he used to love the job because he used to get to read like 2 novels a week. But he weren't a bright lad. He was reading about football and stuff, horse racing. And now it's like he's one of Rochdale's moping. Oh, you're right, John. Been a while since I've seen you. It just revolves around drink. He's just somebody who's just coasted through life, right? But his dad, I met his dad a few times, and his dad actually liked me, where he didn't like his son very much. He liked me. I'm about 4 years younger. He liked me. It's like I worked for his dad for a couple of weeks once, helping him build a huge extension on his house. It's like his dad was fully trained, kind of master builder type who worked with his dad, and they were both brilliant builders. They had all the right tools. They knew everything what they were doing. And the old dad was too old to do the labouring, or to do the heavy labouring, and they needed someone for him to talk to, so he wasn't talking to his son all day, so his son could get the roof on. So they gave me a job for a couple of weeks labouring on my mate's dad and granddad. They're brilliant guys, brilliant men. They were great. It was one of them. I was 16. I was working with two blokes, and I was being a lad, and they were teaching me, and it was good. I enjoyed it. There's some of the best people I worked with. I learned all sorts from them. And it's like, hang on a minute. I've been in your living room, John. You are a former champion ballroom dancer. Yep. And I've got lots of money. And it's like, but I didn't make money building. I custom make dance uniforms. What? Yeah, he's a seamstress. And so my mate Martin's mother, Sylvia, she's one of them where I've only known Sylvia when she's like in her 40s, but it's like you look at her and she's like, oh my God, you were once upon a time a bit of a darling, weren't you? He's one of them. It's like you look at her and you're like, wow. And she'd be smarter. She taught me things about what I had coming in the future. She says, you're only 16 now, and you haven't earned any proper wages yet. It says, if you're anything like my son, and most boys that become men from round here, when you reach the age of about 18 and you're earning a proper wage, you will enter a period called second childhood, where one spends most of one's valued time drunk. And you just don't see it, and you just don't see what you're missing. She was right about second childhood. Absolutely right. I even stole it. No, but in essence, they become a completely different person now. They're a man in drink, having taken to it like a duck to water. Where from being the schoolboy, one becomes the man and becomes the adult, and then becoming the adult, because of the way that our part of society is primed, then become the drinker. And how quickly we all fell into that. You see me smoking. There's absolutely no need in the world for anyone to smoke, is there? Well, I do. Why? Oh, bad habits, bad examples. If you were thinking, you don't think about your health when you've got other things. You've got bigger things to worry about. You don't realise that smoking these bastards are like you spend enough money, you could have bought a fucking house. It's like the case I could make for being and not being a smoker to a non-smoker is pretty good, I'd say. But I couldn't make that to myself. Not then. And now it's a matter of, oh shit, this would be like, giving up smoking for me would be like a complete rewire of a brain that it's taken me a fucking long time to get working the way I like it. And I don't want to do it. I understand it as that. It's like it's a rewiring job. It'll be like getting off cocaine. No, not cocaine. That wouldn't be the same. Getting off heroin. Getting off opiates. That's heart failure, not bad lungs. I can continue to smoke. But yeah, it's like that's the world we were raised in. Them are the traps we fell into. And we were fucking stupid, and our parents were stupid too because they fell into the same traps. What are you up to, lads? Oh, we're going to the pub. What are we going to do when we get there? Oh, we're going to try to meet women. We're out on the pole. Like what? It's like what would be seen as a normal parlance nowadays in the mind of a feminist would immediately invoke the notion of gang rape or something. Big bunch of us, 7 of us going out. What are we doing? We're out on the pole. We're going looking for women. All spruced up like fucking cats. Heading off to the town with money in their pocket, looking to drink the town dry. Spent years doing that, but the thing is with me, I would just find people to talk to about football and movies and shit. Be amazed. It's like you're in a nightclub and the fucking music is dog shit, and it's making it so it's very difficult for you to hear what people are saying. And you're talking to a lad who runs a rival team who you quite like about all the ins and outs of amateur football, and it's great you've caught up with them because we've got loads to tell each other. Oh! So you sat in a corner of a nightclub and it's like dancey play, and we're like, oh yeah, so how you fixed for next season? Have you lost any play? It's like our society as a way has been kind of perverted by that late night scene, you know, where it's a matter of that fake world of sort of we're all strangers spruced up in nightclub, and it'd be a matter of let's hook up, which being something that just we used to bang 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 like cattle markets. Nightclubs around here used to be like cattle markets, and they used to get it at the end of the night, right, where people who were hoping to have got a shag would actually be stood outside the place waiting to be picked up by somebody. Used to see it. I'll wait till end. See it? I'll wait till end. And there'll be some fucking drunken sort of stuff spewed up on herself. Big fat sad sack of a woman and blah blah. I'm in here. I'll make sure she gets home. Are you alright, love? Tales I've heard, because I've never done that. I've never just hooked up with a complete stranger and just no. I've hooked up with complete strangers and not had sex with them. Hooked up with complete strangers and ended up having like mega conversations till fucking dawn. Never hooked up with people and screwed them. Fucking hell. That's weird to me. I've got an ick about it. An ick, you know, like where it'd be like, I've had it in the past with women, certainly Rochdale, crazy women, where they just put it on a plate for you. And I find that so, in that moment, like, ugh, that I've just always gone, no, I'll pass. Hey, thanks for the offer. But it's a matter of, it can be, for women, you know, a sex life can be so simple as just saying, being in the right company of people you know you've got a kind of, you know you've got an in, they don't mind your company, you've got a vagina, and they'd be like, do you want to fuck? And that'd be all that they need to ever do. And then, you know, a sad lad who falls under this, that's something so fucking messed up as that. He'd be 12 hours later thinking, I think I'm in love. And it's a matter of, I'm sorry guy, but you were just someone who scratched an itch. I was a bit bored. And to be that aloof about it. It's like Rochdale was a place when I was growing up that, make no mistake, it was what's the word? Comeback free, question free sex. And just, oh well, no, we've had sex a few times, but we never had a relationship. No. So that'd be an element of normalcy in the sort of social circles that I was brought up in. So it's like girls like her, right? It's like you with your, you know, your nice hair and your glasses and your conservative thing. It's like that reaction just gives you away as you're just another one of the Rochdale dumbass bitches. You are. You're just one of them. Like someone comes along and goes, and you suddenly realise that you do not have a shield. You do not have a magical defence, and the thing you project can be just pierced with any sharp word. And when reality strikes, who's going to protect you? That trans guy there, is he gonna jump in and fight for you? That trans at the back with the clipboard. Is he gonna jump in if someone decides to slap your face? I don't think he is. I think he's abhorred by violence. I think he'd just sort of back up and be aghast and say, oh, somebody call the police. It's like, it's not in these people to have an ability to deal with this kind of encounter ever. Fucking marked for life. She'll never. That rapid change in brain chemistry with the big harumph. As Ed points to, that'd be a... put in a state of shock. That simple. Made her highly susceptible now to suggestion. And very afraid. So it's like, whatever words came next, just by the way that how memory and neurochemistry works, right? Whatever came next, she'd remember vividly for the rest of her fucking life, regardless of what it was. It would have just been a nice journey in the back of a police car, back home, and she'll have been crying to the cops about the way she'd been terribly treated with that awful oik language. And they'd be sympathetic to her plight and in essence enable the behaviour to try to make her feel better. Oh. And you wonder why someone like that would be treated so soft-handedly by the authorities. Right, this person, by the authorities. The way she speaks about immigrants being these pets that needed to be coddled and cudgeled and controlled. Projection, isn't it? She demands to be protected, coddled and controlled. All at the same time as having an illusion of power or agency within the structure of the control. A fucking sellout. Like a sellout of the human race, this one, isn't she? A sellout. It's like I can be middle-aged, disabled person now and happily sit in my 1,000 quid's worth of throne, right? And say, I'm a far better person than you. Because you don't know how lucky you are. You don't understand gratitude. And the thing called thinking for yourself is hidden behind that reaction. Thinking for herself is somewhere in this place of, and it's an alien thing. Well, I bet the guys at university knocked the fuck out of her.
Hello.
Fun. I wish you'd have had Gran on. It'd have been excellent.